I'm here.
Well, my feelings is hurt. Anyway, good morning, Billy Bob. Good morning, Chad. Chad, what's wrong with you yesterday? Somebody licked the lid off your lollipop, did they?
JPL.
N4LQ.
Oh, gents, when I come in there yesterday morning, I got to get down to the quarry and get me some gravel the morning because my dump truck does not have air conditioning. So I wanted to get my gravel hauled and everything before it got too bad hot. So that was my reason for leaving early. I know Brendan was onto something. KM4RCL, go ahead, John. It's 57 degrees up here. They say it's going to get warm again next week. Better get ready.
Okay. KM4RCL and some group. I know Terry's in there. I don't know who else is in there. W4GPL. Well, 69 degrees here, boys. We had one heck of a storm blow through here yesterday afternoon. Trees were bending all kinds of side winds, and apparently maybe a tornado hit down at something similar next town over at Pleasant Garden. At the time, they were saying they're having an inch and a half hail over High Point, which is probably about 20, 25 miles from me. But we just got a whole bunch of wind and some rain. Who gets it? Let me know. W4JPL.
Steve, I heard you, so go ahead and then if nobody else comes in there, give it back to me.
Oh, thank you. Brandon, N4LQ. Well, good morning, everybody. Thought I'd fire up the old Viking 1 this morning and see how it does. Of course, it's barefooted and it's old, so almost like me. And there you go. It's 67 degrees, cold out there. I don't have any gravel to haul here, but I'll be going out later on. So who's it go to? Who's a Billy or somebody? N4LQ.
W4G, use it.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, good morning, Terry, Chad, Steve. It's 55 up here in the holler, about 30-something hundred feet. Viking 1 sounds good on the Globe King 500 number 1 this morning. The one that sits in the floor. Go ahead, Billy. I'm just working on the first. Nope. Already finished one. Second cup of coffee.
Oh, boy. You've been up for a while. Well, I say a cup. So, anyway, W4GUZ KO4S, that's why I turn it. I start out with one of them big Yeti cups. So, I guess I may have already been through a cup by now. But anyway, it's nice 59 degrees on the way to work this morning. Fog as thick as bacon, just about out there. So it's a nice fall in the air feel when I walked out. Well, even last night, and got up in the middle of the night to take the pup out. It felt quite right to me. It's feeling like time to load the RV up and head to North Dakota is what it's feeling like. And I know it's still another month away, but, 2 months. But anyways, I can't wait. WD4OUM to pick up KO4SSY.
WD4OUM. Well, good morning to all you fellers. Hope everyone is well and happy this morning. And Chad, it just breaks my heart that you such a wuss that your truck ain't got air conditioning on it, and you have to get out before daylight so you won't break a sweat. Golly, but I wouldn't have said that. Nope, I'd have kept that to myself anyway. You don't need no more gravel. You don't need no more parking places. There ain't nobody wants to come up there and see you know how. W4, I done forgot your call. Anyway, Chad, go ahead. You know who you are.
KM4RCL. I ain't got no W to it. I got a newsflash for everyone, so I'll send it on around and get some more in, pile in here, then I'll give everybody the newsflash next go around. KM4RCL.
Is it me?
Go ahead, John boy.
Okay, I wasn't quite sure about it. I guess I turned the N4LQ. Well, good morning, everybody, again. I decided to give the 500 a rest. I went from one extreme to the other. I'm running the Johnson Mobile and the Modi LMAC PMR8 this morning. And, well, I need to run 350 watts carry when I can run 20. And you guys seem to hear me like this one better. That's a waste of electricity. N4LQ in the group, W4 and JPL.
Okay, John, I'm live streaming this thing. I had something not quite right about that mobile. Like it's kind of, I don't know, breaking up or something. I'm not sure what the problem is. Somebody else will have to diagnose that thing on the side there, because I'm not sure what's happening. But it just sounds a little rough, but strong enough, that's for sure. And PMR8, boy, I bet that sounds good. Nice and wide and very loud and good audio in those things. So, and I'm using the Malachite here to do the recording and listening to it and enjoying the sound thereof. So, yeah, I was going to put the AF68 on this morning. I thought, no, I haven't had the Viking on really for a full-time live action situation. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and fire this thing up and see what happens. And it's putting out about 94 watts carrier, and modulation's kicking up to about 95% on peaks. So I guess that's good enough. So I think if I got this right, it goes to Brandon, W4GUZ and 4LQ.
WB4NKL.
Good morning.
And everybody else. Well, it's, like I said, nice and crisp this morning outside. Feels good. Made it through the funeral yesterday. Long day after going out to eat, but I got back about 5 o'clock. Everything went smoothly. And I got the yard mowed yesterday. Finished up just before dark, and no bees nests. Now about a day and a half of weed eating, which has to occur about every 6 weeks here. And maybe by that time the frost will take care of the rest of it. But I am liking the cooler weather. it's almost camping weather, which Amy and I both look forward to. It's just been too hot or too humid here. The humidity is what's killed me. Walk outside, walk down to the mailbox, and come back, your shirt's wet. So, looks like it's turned out to be a beautiful day. So, been putting off, and I know I've been talking about it, but it is definitely honeybee day. We didn't get that done last week, so I'm sure we'll be sweating, even if it does only get up to around 70 degrees today. Go ahead, Cliff. You can turn it back to Billy. WB4NKL, W4G, use it.
K4YBC.
WB4NKL. I guess I'll turn it over to Cuz. I didn't know. Got in, Steve was talking. So I didn't know where I was at. 61 degrees here. Feels pretty good out there. They say less humidity the next few days. I got most of the yard mowed yesterday. I got a little bit to finish up today. And some weed eating like you're talking about, Brian. And a walk. And Lindley put out all her yard sale stuff, made about 100 trips from the basement up around to the garage there yesterday. Seems like about that many. So got her all set up for a yard sale this weekend. Or I think she's starting Friday. And that's about it from here. Go ahead, Cuz. K4 YBC, WB4NKL.
Okay, good morning, Cliff. Good morning, everybody. I just got in here. Well, I've been in here, but I was tuned up on the wrong frequency. I kept wondering, well, ain't nobody going to get on this morning. Y'all were here, but I wasn't. I was up the band a little bit. But anyway, good morning to everybody. It's 66 degrees over here. Wasn't on yesterday. I had some antenna problems, and I still do. So right now, my antenna's configured as a sloper. Windstorm took down one end of it, so I hadn't got it back up. I don't know. If the thing works pretty good as a sloper, I may just leave it that way. But anyway, everybody's sounding good. Not much else here, and I don't know who I'm supposed to turn it back to. So whoever gets it, go ahead and I'll write it down. This is K4YBC.
Ridge Valley. K4JAL.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Was there somebody else besides Jimmy?
K4JAL. WB4BRV.
All right. Jimmy, you take it and then give it to Dingle Bob. WB4BRV, and then Dingle Bob give it back to me.
Okay. I'm still got a lot of slur, but I'm talking. So hope everybody can hear me good. I'm on the little Ilmac again. I've got a lot of slur, but I've got it loaded right. So hope I'm all right now. I give it to Dingle Bob. I can't remember his sign, but I'm glad he's on here. K4JAL. Over to you, Dingle.
Oh, okay. Good morning, fellas. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. I ain't been on in a while, so I don't know what's going on or who shot John or whether Terry's going to jump all over me for talking about mowing. So I ain't talking about mowing, even though I'm better not talk about that. I don't even know if he's in here. I just turned it on and heard you fellas, and I thought, this is a good time to get in here. Anyway, good morning, everybody. And let's see, over here, I'll be Billy. Am I supposed to turn it to you? It's WB4BRV.
Yes, sir. Anybody else wanting to come in? And hearing none. Well, good morning, all. Everybody that's come in. It's very pleasant to hear you this morning, Dingle Bob. And you've definitely been in our thoughts and prayers. Sorry to to hear about the cancer, but we know that the good Lord in control, and it's should be an easier cure than most. We're hoping anyway. I know Terry said you got some good news, but I never did really hear what all that was, so you can elaborate next time it comes around. And Steve, I'm sure you're listening on the Malachite, so John was about 1 inch to the right, 1 inch high, so, but you was more than that high, so, which it don't matter on my old receiver, but I'm sure on your more fine-tuned and particulars. And John Boy, I can at least hear you most of the time when you're on the 500. I couldn't even tell you was talking this morning on the little mobile. I did pull up Brandon's SDR and hear you on it. It does sound good, but anyways, I'm playing Terry this morning. If y'all hadn't noticed, on that 1 inch high and 3 inches high, and I'm having to use Brandon's equipment to do it because I ain't got nothing I can tell on. Mercy. Mowed here yesterday, did not weed eat. Got to do it again at the house. I don't know what the river looks like. I haven't been down there in a week. So I did brush hog last time. Brush. Let me get the bush, Brandon. Bush hog. I did bush hog last time I was down there. So anyway, I'll get that straight. I don't want to be called no dad blame Yankee or something. WD4OUM to pick it up. Go ahead, jump on something. I know you're going to. Pick it up, K4SSY.
WD4OUM. I ain't saying nothing to nobody this morning. I might turn over a new leaf. Anyway, and for your information, John Boy is 1 inch high, and Steve is a ½ inch high. So, and Steve, that's probably why that mobile don't sound too good. Old John Boy is plumb up yonder. Anyway, Dingle Bob, I ain't gonna say nothing to you about mowing. I actually mowed yesterday evening. Now, this being the middle of August, my grass was the highest it's ever been since I lived here. Now, them little rains that we had this past week, I even had brown spots in part of my yard. But yeah, it beat anything I ever seen. But it's mowed. I got a bunch of high weeds out there in places that I need to borrow a goat or something. But oh well. And Dingle Bob, the truth has got to be in you, because I don't think it ever comes out. You told me. I'll be on the radio in the morning. Well, that's been a whole week. So anyway, but it is good to hear you in here. And Cuz, you might order just stayed up where you started out this morning. So there. And Cliff, I was just wondering if Miss Linda put anything out there I'd be interested in. I need to call her and tell her to get out there in the little building and, see if she can't find something I'm interested in. Oh, well. Chomping at the bits, Chad. Go ahead and lay it on us. KN4RCL, WD4OUM.
This deal. Bill Bobby got the bush hog correctly this morning. It's not brush. Just think of Moses and the burning bush. Bush hog. Same thing. Same stuff exactly. Cliff, I seen on the news this morning that the oldest tree in Tennessee or something like that, a big old tree in Jonesboro, got storm damaged, and that's how I feel about that, you know. But yeah, that sounds like a bunch of tree huggers. No, the news is flash is Stormy Daniels. Yes, that Stormy Daniels was Trump's buddy, is coming to the mouse's ear. So, Terry, you got that pit mobile gashed up? Came for ourselves. Go ahead, John.
Okie doke. Stand for RCL group, for JPL. Well, Steve, I assume you can hear me. This is crystal controlled, so I guess the crystal's not controlled very well. I could probably rig up to work with this next. Maybe that'll be one of my upcoming projects. The problem I have right now with this thing is you can't spot one or the other. This is going to be an interesting day, boys. I'm going to work with wood. I'm going to build me an aquarium stand. So if you don't hear me, I'm missing a few fingers, toes, and maybe my head too. So let's see. N4LQ in the group, 74 JPL.
Yeah, that was it. W4JPL N4LQ. I got the synchronous AM mode, and it was trying to lock in on you, but you were so far out, it was trying to pull you back, and it made a thumping sound every time. So I tuned up to 3886, and there you were. You sound good now. So yeah, I'm crystal control too, but I think I got it fixed, or at least I tried. And you might tell me, I took a 1-inch doorstop and put it under the right side of the Viking, so I wouldn't be, it would run down the other way and balance it out. Hopefully I'm back on frequency, but I don't know. And also probably I could get in there and squeeze that crystal a little bit. It might make a difference. I've got a VFO here. I need to hook it up and get that working, I guess. So Bob, BRV, I inadvertently heard about your plight with prostate cancer, I think, and I did have that back in 2008, and they gave me proton radiation, and boy, that was an experience, but it worked, I guess, and it took about 3 months, I think, of going in there about every other day, or every day at first, and getting blasted with protons up in Bloomington, Indiana. So I just wondered what's going on with you. Anyway, over to Brandon, W4GUZ, and your Globe King sounds good. N4LQ.
Hey, Steve. N4LQ, W4GUZ. And good morning, Jimmy. And I thought you said slur, and I was wondering if you had some type of procedure, like a dental procedure, but I got you now. Steve, let me know if tipping one side of the radio up works or not. I've successfully brought down crystal, at least a KC with a little bit of graphite. Anyway, Billy, I bet the river's muddy. I'm sure you've got some work to do around there, but it was a roaring here yesterday, so and I'm sure the Nolichucky's quite muddy over your way, Cliff. And Terry Mowing, I'm sure you sit down and mow, don't you? I don't see you pushing anything, but you might do it. Chad, hope you're going to Bear Creek instead of Woodlawn to get some gravel. I made a mistake of getting that white stuff out of McDowell County, and it turned into powder in less than a year. So it was cheaper, though. I know why now. And, Cliff, Linda's not got any train memorabilia sitting out there, does she? Good luck on the yard sale. And DB, it's good to hear you, and you have been there. Thoughts and prayers. Listing this morning on Lee's S76 that my wife picked up from Steve, I guess week before last. I was a little worried at first. It was a little deaf, but and I had trouble finding a 6BE6 in my collection for some reason, but RF amplifier was almost non-existent, but that brought it back to life, and man, what a big old meter. I'm liking it so far. WB4NKL, W4G, use it.
Yeah, W4GUZ, WB4NKL. Okay, Brandon, everybody's sounding good. Low LMAX is doing good, Jimmy. And I'm wondering where you're seeing what you're running into that you've got SWR that's different from what you had before. I couldn't quite figure out what's going on there, but you're sounding good, so you're getting some power into the antenna, however it's going. Train coming in. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I don't think Glenda's got any train stuff in the yard sale. I'll have to go over it. If anybody wants to come to the yard sale, I'll bring them on out here and, any hams and let them go through the building here. I'm sure there's something I could send home with you. So it'll be, for the hams, it'll be open shop here. Steve, DBs are running a Viking there, so we've got 2 Vikings on today. And we got to get the LMAC back down to Cuz, sitting over here on the floor. So that's coming up in a couple of weeks. We'll be coming down to see you, Steve. And I'm going to bring the LMAC back home to Cuz. Go ahead, Cuz, K4YBC, WB4NKL.
Okay, WB4NKL, K4YBC. Let me hang on just a minute. Okay, my power, I'm using the drive amplifier, has decided to go up for some reason. I only like to run this little amplifier at 100 watts, so I'm sure it could handle a whole lot more, but I don't know about the power supply in it. Using 3 572Bs in it, so I'm sure it can handle way more than 100 watts, but we'll keep it that way. Yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody at Shelby. Golly, it's only about, 17 days or something, guys, so it ain't long, that's for sure. Looking forward to seeing everybody. Let's see, I got a dummy load I got to bring down to Uncle Dave, and a few other things I might bring. And like I said, I'm using my antenna as a sloper this morning because one end of it decided to leave the tree. I hadn't been able to get it back up, so anyway, 66 degrees over here. And I got out yesterday and pressure washed the my carport. It's one of those metal store-bought carports, and man, that thing got dirty, and it's the same color as the roof on the house, but it sure didn't look that way yesterday when I was pressure washing it. But you know, you can't get up and walk on the thing, so I had to, you know, use a ladder here and there and everywhere, and did the best I could, and it looks a whole lot better. It really does. So I'm glad that project was out of the way. And yeah, Dingle Bob, it's good to hear you, my friend, and I can kind of know what you're going through. I had that back, what, 7, 8 years ago, I guess it was, and Steve, yeah, I had to go to radiation, I think, every day for about 28 days or something like that. So I wore the road out going from here to Hickory. So anyway, everything's looked good since. So doctors say everything's looking good. So I'm thankful to God for that. And Jimmy, the LMAC sounds good, buddy. So up to you. K4JAL, K4YBC.
K4YBC, K4JAL. Yeah, I'm enjoying this little thing. The PMRH's working and all, but I've got an awful bunch of jumpers and so forth getting to my antenna, and I'm sure that's what it is. I've rung them all out. They all test good individually, and I've gone over the TR switch and burnished the contacts and blah, blah, blah. But as long as it's loading up, I guess I'm okay. DB, I'm glad you're feeling better. I hope you are. And a lot of us old guys go through what you've got. So just hang in there. I never have got your call, but I'm going to turn it back to you. Maybe I'll hear it this time. Over to you, DB. K4JAL.
K4JAL. Whiskey Bravo 4. Bravo Romeo Victor. Sometimes I use Blue Ridge Valley. So whatever it takes. But anyway, okay. I'm running the Viking 2 this morning. That's all I ever run. That's all I got. AM is a Johnson Viking 2, and so that's anytime I'm on here, that's what I'm on. And I got a receiver that Terry charged me way too much for this. It's an ICOM R71A that I'm using to receive on. So that's my station. So, well, okay, fellas, let me back up just a little bit, and I'm trying to make this brief. I done a biopsy here. I go to the VA. I only go to the VA. I have no other insurance and don't want any and don't need any. I used to have Medicare, of course, and my first wife was before she passed with lung cancer. She, her hospital bills were astronomical. That 20% adds up to millions in no time, the way they do, the way they charge. But anyway, I was never using it, and so I just told them to cut it out, and they did, and I was using that money to help pay her hospital bills, and I just never did fool with it anymore. But anyway, the VA sends me wherever they need to go, and a lot of times I go to other doctors like the Johnson City Eye Clinic for cataract surgery and that sort of thing. But they done a biopsy there at the VA. Then they sent me to the Johnson City Medical Center for a PET scan. And then when that come back, we went in and sat down to see what the results were. And it part of it was worse than others, but it was also spreading to other parts of my body. And the first thing he said is, "You are not a candidate for surgery because of your age." And so, because I just planned on, just cut it out and let's get on with it. But So that's not going to happen. So then he lined out some stuff. They give me pills for 30 days. I don't know what they are. They just take these pills. And well, he explained them. You know, he explained all that. But anyway, this may be the 9th or 10th day or something. I don't know. Anyway, I got 30 days. There won't be any more. And then I have to take a shot Friday. So anyway, Tuesday I had appointment and with 2 doctors from oncologist doctors and so they lined. They said, look, we got all kind of stuff, you know. We got so let, you know, we're going to do this and this and this and this, and if that don't work, we got other things to do. So don't get discouraged. We'll see what we can do with this. And so that's where we are now. So I don't feel, you know, I'm tired more. I'm just, you know, but I don't have any pain or nothing like that. It just, of course, that's in the back of your mind all the time. And so I don't think that there's no cure. They cannot cure it, but they said if they can keep it suppressed, then, you know, I'll be, if the good Lord lets me live until October, I'll be 88. And I've been well blessed, fellas. I've been well blessed. The Lord has blessed me more than I deserve. And I appreciate all of you. I appreciate your prayers and your thoughts. And, but, you know, it's just, it is what it is. So, I'll just, you know, I'm just dealing with it and moving on, and we'll see how things go. And but the VA's been real good to me. I have not one complaint, and I've been going over there for 24 years. So, you know, whatever happens, happens. And then yard sale. I used to go with my brother to yard sale for. I just went to visit. But he'd come by and get me, and he said, "Come on, let's go yard selling." He'd gather up junk all over. He'd buy all kind of junk and put it in the garage, and then about every 2 years, he'd pay our nephew to haul it to the trash and start over. I never did get that, but we used to pull in the yard sale and said, "Hey, you got any guns or guitars?" And occasionally, you know, we'd come up with something like that, But anyway, it was a lot of fun, and I love yard sales. I love them. We go up here to we live real close to the Tri-City Flea Market, and it's big. It's got all those buildings, and we always go outside. But I love it. If it's pretty weather, we go up there every Saturday morning for maybe an hour or so, just look around outside. I bought a lot of tools and a lot of stuff up there, and yeah. I'm gonna be brief on mowing, Terry. Yeah, it's awful. I mowed last night, and I'm telling you what, it nearly stalled out the mower 2 or 3 times. And I got a 24-horse Husqvarna, so it is rough. And I got some more to do later. Well, probably won't do it today. Probably in the morning or tomorrow afternoon maybe. But I got some more mowing to do. And this rain, when you have rain for a week or so at a time, you can't get caught up. These people that mow for a living, I notice they're not mowing when it's wet and cold. You know, I don't get that. If I mow, mine just gets all clogged up and I can't. You know, it's awful. But they just keep trucking. I wonder what they're doing that I can't do. Anyway, over to you, Billy. It's WB4BRV.
WB4BRV and the group kill for SSY returning. Well, one thing you might try, DB, is get a set of those mulching blades. They chop that grass up a lot finer. That helps a lot. I know out here, beside the highway out here, this grass gets so dadgum thick you can't hardly mow it, and it grows twice as fast there in that road ditch as it does the rest of the property. So every time I mow, I'm fighting it down there. So than I did. I put them mulching blades on, and it really made a difference in what it throws out because of it and stuff. So it chops it up a lot smaller and does a better job of dispersing it. A lot of them guys has those plates put on, so it just completely mulches it up. It just keeps chopping it the whole time. Mine's actually got the spout. Go ahead and throw it out. But, Terry, mite. What have I told you about mites? Mites are on a chicken's butt. Are you a chicken's butt? Anyway, and I don't know what I was saying earlier when Steve was talking. It must have been because up there almost to 90, because I was watching the signal about the whole time he was talking way off to the right, and it was strong. So I don't know. Anyways, yeah, you was only a half-inch high that time, Steve. So you might need to raise that. You might need to raise that right side of that radio up another quarter or something. Put a quarter under it or something. Anyway, and it's yeah, I'm enjoying the weather. Maybe it'll stop this dead blame grass from growing. It seems like it's all I've done all summer between here and the house and the river, and trying to clean up down there and keep it under control. And that one area down there, they'd piled a bunch of dead blame hog wire fence, and I don't know what all. Finally got all that stuff drugged down to another area and kicked it off over the riverbank to keep from wash. And the chopped down all the cane poles, cleaned that up, try to get it to where I can get on it and keep it mowed. So I run the brush out where I can. So anyway, WD4OUMKO4SSY.
WD4OUM. Well, Billy Bob, if you'd let them homesteaders come in like they wanted to and take over that land, you wouldn't have to worry about bush hogging. But, oh well, anyway. And Dingle Bob, I don't hear nothing from you about mowing. I mean, you had a whole herd of goats, you know. Instead of having them penned up in that little bitty pen out there, you could have turned them loose on that hillside, and, you know, they'd have took care of all that. And I thought you put that old Husky Varney in the trash pile anyhow. You're always bragging about them John Deeres. So, oh well. And Cliff, come to the yard sale and then come on over in the building and you'll make sure somebody leaves us some. Every time I come down there, you make sure I leave empty. You check my pockets, put me on scales and all kinds of stuff. You must be planning on something or something anyway. And Chad, does that mean old Trump's going to be up there at the Mouse's ear too? I'll call up Uncle Joe, and then Uncle Joe will go up there. Uncle Joe might want to see some of that stuff. KN4RCL, WD4OUM.
I don't think Trump's going to be up there, but I think she's going to be up there. And he's got Joe's phone number. Call him up and see if you can wake him up and come on and ask him where that buffalo is. Where buffalo's going? KN4RCL. Mighty fine, Terry. And DB, that fella, I bought motion braids nowadays, and I go up there to the Tri-Cities flea market, and that dude trading up there, there's a guy and a woman that the only thing they sell is lawnmower parts. And I usually get them motion blades from them at the trade lot for half the price you can buy them in the store at. He's in the upper Newport, you know, where the outside stuff is, and building on the inside building number 4. Building number 4 and number 3 is together, you know. And they're connected together. He's where they're connected together where you go out the back door out to the outside part that you said you enjoy going to. So I buy all my lawnmower blades, spindles, and he's got just about everything for every kind of mower you can think of out there. KM4RCL, go ahead, Japanese plastic lunchbox.
Okay. And for RCL and the group W4JPL. And Chad, today is just plain loony. Fine business, and everybody in DB, we'll keep praying on you. You're going to be just fine, son. You got lots to do yet before you go home. Just remember that. I'm going to jump out of here, boys. It's 8:30, and I want to get this wood project started. Hopefully, I won't kill myself in the process. I can do anything mechanical. Electrical, I'm so-so. Except the JF12, because I'm always thinking of something stupid. But for some reason, when it comes to wood, not so good on wood. Well, we'll see. Got everything all laid out, and I think I can do it this time. We'll see. 73, have a blessed day, you guys, and I'll catch up with you maybe tomorrow. Well, yeah, I'll catch up with you tomorrow for sure. It's Thursday. I'll be listening for just a few. N4ALQ in the group, W4JPL.
Okay. Before JPL in the group, N4LQ. Yeah, let me tilt this thing a little farther. I switched over to the LMAC AF68. It's got one of these newfangled things called a VFO. So now it looks like I'm just about on frequency here, and a little more power than the Viking. Anyway, so let's see here. DB's Viking 2 sounds good, and thanks for the story on the cancer situation. And that sounds like you're having a lot of fun bouncing around the doctors there. But I'm sure they'll take care of you up there. That's really, I'm sure, stressful sometimes. And yeah, that radiation process was, I think it was about a month. And to make matters worse, I had to drive about 75 miles to get there. And so I stayed in a place. This was on the University of Indiana IU campus, and they had this ancient proton radiation machine it covered a football field in size. It was huge. I took a tour of it one time, and it was like going through this big nuclear reactor. And one of the things they do when you go in there is they x-ray you, and they put you in a plaster, I guess it's like a zoot suit, it's just, they wrap you with gauze, and then they plaster you, and then slide you into a x-ray machine, and you're in there for a while. You talk about claustrophobia. Oh man. Then they saw that thing off, and they make a big form for you to lay in every time you get a treatment. And then they make a aperture, they call it, out of steel about 6 inches thick, That's just the shape of the prostate, little hole in it. And so that beam goes right exactly to the right place every time. And they want you to drink a gallon of water before you go in there. That didn't work out. I just quit drinking all that water. But it's the balloon treatment that I did not like. It did not set well with me. So I forego the balloon treatment. Anyhow, I'm thinking about doing graphite on that crystal, but it may be the last thing that crystal ever sees is that pencil. So I don't know. It's kind of scary. It's the only one. It's hard to get crystals these days, and that's my only 3885 crystal. I kind of hate to take it apart since it works, but that's the way it goes. So Shelby is coming up, and Cliff, be anxious to see you and Cuz swapping the AF-68. We're going to go to the land rush that Brian has organized, and 5 o'clock the Sunday morning before the Ham Fest, we'll be out there, and they line up at the gate, and then when they let us in, it's like a thundering herd. We go out there and we pull our flags up, and we take the flags and pay for them, and that reserves our little space. So I'll have a space there. Anyway, go ahead there, Brandon. W4GUZ and 4LQ.
4LQ, W4GUZ. Yeah, Shelby is quickly approaching. I'm quickly, I'm getting behind. I wonder if Cliff, if that same corner is going to be there this year or not. Or do I need to go get in line? I don't have that much of that I'm planning on taking, but I would like to at least pay for my trip down there. I guess I need to get on the ball for a hotel room. I'm going to end up staying in Kings Mountain again and driving back home. Oh, it's hard to believe a year's passed already. And yeah, the mulching blades do work on the lawnmower for sure. It made a big difference. And I finished mowing many times in the rain. I never start in the rain, but once I get going and get good and wet, I just keep on a trucking. If it was up to me, and I think I could probably talk my wife into it, but if it was up to me, I wouldn't have any yard to mow. I'd let it get about knee high in wildflowers and just let it go. But my favorite time to mow is the last time in the fall when I set the deck just as low as it'll go and I watch the dust fly out of the side and scalp the yard. That's my time on the lawnmower. So, I don't know, Chad, what you and Terry are up to with the mouses here, but maybe we need to go up there and protest when Stormy shows up. I tell you, I don't watch the news that often, and last night was a good example why. They just keep laying the licks on Trump. Now with the whole Georgia mess, the prosecutor said she's going to trial 18 or 19 people at one time. Oh, it makes me ill. And John, I'm fairly good with wood. It's not my most favorite thing to do. I would rather weld two pieces of metal together. I feel much more comfortable doing that. And it's funny, I can measure a piece of steel and cut it, and it's exactly the length that I want it to be. And measure a piece of wood, and it's usually too long or too short. But, my last project, I put down a wood floor, and I got right to the end, and I had to cut out for the register in the floor. And I started out on the porch toward the table saw, which I'm scared to death of, and I decided to go down in the basement and raise up the metal bandsaw and straddle it and cut out a little notch. And, it took off a lot faster than I thought, and my thumb was in the way, so I got to see the end of my thumb bone and about passed out. It was real fun having it cleaned out with oily metal shavings all through and through. It all grew back, and you can't tell it by looking at it, but I injure that thumb more than any other digit that I have on that hand because I can't feel the end of it now. So. Anyway, Steve, what did you yesterday name the Chinese VFO? I don't have one on this Globe King, but I do the other one. What was it? Drift No Mo, or was it something better than that? I like it. I think I'm going to get out my label maker and stick it on the front of it. So it's a little bear looking here anyway. And Cliff, I guess after that statement, I'll probably just stay away. Or we could lengthen the ride there Saturday, and I could, I don't know, I guess we could park on that old road, but I could bring you some business, 100 plus, if you've got room to park. But, hope you sell everything that you put out. So. That's a lot of work to go through. But, maybe you have advertised it enough to where you'll do some good. WB4NKL, W4GUZ.
Yeah, W4GUZ, it's WB4NKL. Okay, Brandon. We'll find some place for him if you can swing that Maggie's ride over this way. We might even get Terry hooked in there. So I hope you have a good ride. Looks like the weather's going to be pretty good for it Saturday. I need to find something unusual to drive and get in on that one of these days. We could talk Tommy into it. PSI, he's got the old 66 Chevy pickup all decked out. I'll have to tell him about it. It's the kind of thing he sounds like he'd want to participate in. Should be a good a spot for you over there, Brandon. Gene Ward, that's the guy that gets those spots. He goes over like Land Rush, like Steve's talking about, and always gets those same spots. And I just, I can't appreciate him enough. He always got tables set up, tents set up, and all I have to do is drive over there and set my stuff out. So what a deal. I appreciate him. And let's see, and I think he gets 6 spots there. So I would say same plan as last year, Brandon. The big tree up there in Jonesboro. My sister sent me pictures of that. She lives up there. I don't know if I think it must have been the oldest oak tree in Jonesboro. I don't know about the state of Tennessee. They were thinking it's about 400 years old, Chad. It's a big old tree. Weathered a lot of storms, and then this one finally come and took it out. It must have got rougher up that way. We didn't have all that much wind here. We had all the rain, 6 inches of rain there in 24 hours. But we missed the wind part of it. I was going to ask DB if he had any of that tornado come through his place. all we got was rain and lightning here. So I was glad of that. Didn't want no wind. Go ahead, Cass. K4YBC, WB4NKL.
WB4NKL, K4YBC. Okay, gentlemen, real fine. Well, I'm going to have to get out of here. My wife's getting ready to leave. I need to check with her on a couple things. Everybody is sounding good this morning. Enjoyed it. We'll look for you tomorrow. So, Jimmy, if you're still in there, go ahead. K4JAL, K4YBC clear.
Good, Jimmy. K4JAL. I was in there visiting the porcelain. I guess I could put a brick under one end of this LMAC and get that swerter straightened up. You reckon that'll work, Brandon? I got to get out of here and go see a man about a dog. So, W4VRV, K4JAL, over to you. 7-3 and clear.
Okay, fellas. Yep. No, Cliff, we didn't get any tornado. We got, I never seen that. The thunder and lightning woke us up. And it lasted about an hour. It seemed like it was right over top of us. And I had forgotten to take my antenna loose. So, you know, and then I was afraid to if the lightning hit while I was doing it. It got me. So the next morning I got in here and turned the radio on, and didn't hear nothing, and I thought, uh-oh. And but I switched to I was on 3947 with the green frogs, and so I didn't hear nothing. It's like so I switched to 2 meters and then back, and there it was. So I but I try to keep my antenna off most of the time when I'm not on. And so I'm glad the tornado didn't hit down here. I know that time, Cliff. I don't know if you was with up through a little bend or not, but you know it come through Unicoi one time. I don't know what they call it. It tore Unicoi all the pieces right up Limestone Cove. It took down buildings and there's a trailer beside that restaurant up there on the main drag. It took the top off of it, and down where we lived. Down on the other side of the railroad track, wires was down everywhere. It's just a really big mess. So, yeah, I'm glad we didn't go through any of that. But and fellas, I'm gonna have to get off here too. I'm on this morning. We got so much to do here every morning. You know, and I'm slower and slower. We got chores to do, and the only reason I'm on here this morning, I got. The lawnmower, I got it stuck, and when I got unstuck it drifted back and hit my knee, and so I'm limping around like some old cripple man. But then I said, well, you know, so she's out doing chores, and I'm sitting here on radio. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here and get my coffee going and have some breakfast and all that stuff. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate your prayers and your thoughts, and yeah, we'll just go along here and see what happens, and that's about all we can do. But you know, the good book says the average age is 70 after the flood, and I'm done 18 years past that, so I'm well blessed. So anyway, 73s, everybody have a super good day, and we'll try to get in here more often as cool weather comes. We just got so much to do now, and we're getting the crops in, and you know, and of course, Sandra, she outworks me about 20 or 30 to 1, and especially in the garden and all that. But I'm still doing all the mowing and the repairing and all that. It's just slower. So anyway, 73s, K04SSY. WB4 Blind East Corner. Yes, sir.
Get on the radio. Turn that little frequency meter on that I gave you. You're 2 inches down the band.
Oh, geez, I knew that was coming. It hurts too much to laugh, DB. You just got to overlook him and go on. You have a great day up that way, and we'll continue to keep you in our thoughts and prayers. And, oh, mercy. Is Wacky Crazy for real? Is he out in Tennessee, or where's he at this morning? Yeah, it seems like he might have said he was going to Tennessee at some point. And, Lord, I may hang in here for one more, and then I'm going to have to get the day started. But it's nice to hang out with a bunch of crazies every morning and get the day started. WD4OUM, K04SSY.
WD4OUM, just a tad high, and I ain't gonna touch your VFO. So there you go. Steve, if I was you, I wouldn't touch that crystal. I mean, you just right at a half a KC high, and you know that's close enough. It ain't like none of the rest of these fellers, you know, from out of the ballpark. So I wouldn't touch it. And Brandon, I'm just curious how much sense you got. What are you going to drive or ride Saturday? You surely ain't going to try to ride your motorcycle with your back problem. I probably wouldn't have no back problem if it hadn't been for that stupid motorcycle. You know, right before I sold it, I'd hop. Of course, I couldn't go to the store without riding 200, 250 miles. So, you know, right before I sold it, I'd ride that thing a time or two, and I couldn't hardly walk for about 2 weeks. So I'm just giving you a little heads up. Of course, you know, you ain't wrapped real tight nohow, so what can I say? Anyway, oh well, I was going to say something to you, Chad, and it done slipped my mind. KN4RCL WD4OUM.
Probably about the mouses, yeah, I guess. I thought Terry, you can discuss that some other time. Brandon, you're in work. I got this on my tablet logged into my account, and I found y'all a room in Shelby, but they're going fast. Right there at the, I'm saying at the Country Inns and Suites, right there at the mall. And Cliff is saying at the Comfort Inn right there at the mall. So, with them hotels is right there together, and Cliff can tell you it's only about a mile from the mall up to the fairground, so it's about as close as you can get to staying to the fairgrounds without having to be there. And you better get them before they book up. I say they're booking up pretty soon. I'd say it's amazing there's moons left. If not, you'll be at the Bates Motel down in Kings Mountain. KN4RCL. I think John maybe has got out. I couldn't hear him on his last transmission. So, Steve, did you pay any attention? John got out, or go ahead and take it if John's not in there.
Guess he ain't. I guess he's gone. John, anyway, in 4LQ, and yeah, DB, you were down 2KC. I had trouble finding you. Good thing I got a band scope here. I spotted that carrier and tuned down there and got you in the picture here. So yeah, the Chinese VFO, that's the way to go if you really want to be on frequency, and that's what they call the drifty. you know, Drifty, get you one of those, hook it up. I got a Greek one here I bought on eBay. It's a little circuit board, got a nice big display on it, and it's actually a transmitter, and it's covers, let's see, what was it? Some crazy thing like 50 kc to 30 megahertz, and it's AM, 100% modulated AM, and I hooked the D104 to it, and listened to it. Boy, it sounded nice. I mean, it really was. It had like 0.009% distortion, and I believe it. It really sounded good. Trouble is trying to figure out how to amplify it many hundreds of times. Anyway, get you a Drifty and you'll be happy. So I guess that's about it for this morning. I'll say 73s and pass it on to Brandon, W4GUZ and 4LQ.
Okay, Steve. Yeah, I'm going to jump out here too and get the day started. DB, if you're still listening, the Green Frogs. Never heard of that group? I'll have to look into that. Oh, me. Motorcycle or Volkswagen? I don't know. I guess it just depends. But I was a pallbearer yesterday, straight up the side of the mountain. And I'm not going to say that it totally fixed me. I'm not even going to brag on it. Just I will say I feel better when I got up this morning. It's the best I've felt in about 6 or 7 weeks. I've lost count of the weeks that this has been going on. So I would hop on a motorcycle right now and ride 200 miles, but who knows what might happen 10 miles down the road, and then that would be a painful trip. I don't know what I'll do yet. Amy is wanting to ride the motorcycle. Last 2 years, it's been we rode together in the bus last year, and the year before last, I rode the motorcycle solo, and she drove the 61 Volkswagen truck with Maggie's little motorcycle in the back. But I don't think we're going to have a vehicle to put her little Honda 50 in this year, so we may just set it out there at the fire department. And I'll ride it around like a little clown in the parking lot while everybody's while we're raffling off door prizes. That's what I'll do. Cliff, good deal on Shelby. Sounds good, and I certainly appreciate what he does. Maybe the cookie lady will be there this year too. And I guess that's all from here. I'm at a loss for words, and got a lot to get accomplished today. Because I feel good. So, over to you, Cliff, and let's see, tomorrow, yep, I'll be here tomorrow too, hopefully. If I don't do something stupid today and hurt my back again. So, we'll catch you tomorrow, if not before. I may try to catch Tom and Larry and whoever else gets in here this afternoon. And how is Larry? It's been about a week since I've heard him, Cliff. I'm sure you've spoke to him or Tommy one. 73 WB4NKL W4GUZ.
Yeah, W4GUZ. It's WB4NKL. I hadn't talked to Tommy in a while. I need to get in touch with him. Larry, I've talked to him 3 days ago, maybe. he's doing better. Sounds a lot better. I need to try to get in touch with both of them there today, I guess. Get them back on the radio. All these storms, I think everybody's had their antennas unhooked. I'll get out too and say I'm going to go walk around the block and come back and finish the yard work up, and then check in and see what else Linda's got planned for me. Enjoyed it this morning, and Billy, I don't know what you finally decided about Shelby. You talked about bringing the camper up, but I guess you could get in touch with one of these guys that's going to be there for the land grab and get you a camper spot. Worked out pretty good. Hope you can make it. Be good to see everybody at Shelby. There was a fish place we ate at last year that was Mark's wanting to go back to. Hope they're still in business. I was going to ask Steve about it. I can't remember the name of it. It was a little close to the Hamfest, close to the motel there down on the 4-lane. It's pretty good. So plan on going back to that. Maybe we'll get a group together and take that in. So 73s for now, and catch you all later. Go ahead, Billy. KO4 or SSY. It's WB4 NKL.
All righty, Cliff. Well, we'll just have to see. They got a lot of stuff going on with the church and different things. So, I don't know if I'm going to get to make any. I probably won't go to Huntsville this weekend. I don't know. Seems like I can't get loose. I ain't been to the boat. I need to go up there. I got stuff I need to do to it. I may actually try to do that this weekend. I don't know. I got too much stuff going on, really. Anyway, 7-3's off, and Terry put the ribbons on it. You and Chadwick, and good Lord willing, nothing bends breaks your tires. We shall see you in the morning. WD4OUM, pick it up, KO4SSY.
Okie dokie. Well, you fellas have a good day, and we catch you tomorrow, I guess. KN4RCL, WD4OUM, 7-3s.
Billy, old fat buddy, you used to both excuse last year not to go to Shelby. So, I don't think that excuse is acceptable this year. Why don't you come down there and be with all of us? Just one Hamfest, all it is, Billy. And hopefully you can be with us, and we'll all go and eat at a fish restaurant down there that Cliff and Mark's been talking about. Sounds a good deal. And since we'll all be staying there at the mall and around there close at the Hamfest, KM4RCL, 73s, we'll all talk to you in the morning.
Yeah, all righty, 7-3s. We'll see. Hopefully. I hope I can. Probably need to get the RV out and run it another time before I head to North Dakota in it anyway. So, anyway, 7-3s.
That's Kelly's Seafood on Dixon Highway.
What you have there. You got to come up with a better term for that. I'm a little envious of that. Chad, what was the name of the hotel there that you were looking at? I wasn't paying attention. I was on the phone with my father.
It is the Country Inns and Suites there in Shelby. And they got rooms, and the Comfort Inn in Shelby has got rooms right beside each other, right there at the mall. Go ahead. I think that's it, Brandon.
Yeah. I remember seeing the Country Inn, I think, beside the Comfort Inn. So I'll put that on my to-do list. Talk to you tomorrow. W4GUZ.
I copied Kelly's Seafood. That sounds right, Steve.
Yeah, I've been there twice, and I can't. So far, I haven't been able to get in. For one reason or another, I think they got spooked out by COVID or something one time, but they got funny hours. So I don't know. One of these days, I'll get in there and see if I can get some fish. There's another place called the Fisherman's Feast that's pretty good. N4LQ.
Yeah, me and Mark had got in there last year. It's pretty good. It seemed like you went in and give the lady your order as soon as you walked in the door, and then that's the way it operated. It was a little different procedure than most of them. And then they brought it to you instead of a waitress coming around. That might be a COVID change, but it was good. I forget who, somebody had recommended it, but it was good.
Yeah. Well, my wife doesn't like fish of any kind. And so when I go, I got to go by myself, which sometimes works out okay. If she has a lot of extras left over, she can eat here at home. So, yep, there you go. And most people, I don't know why, but hams seem to like to go to barbecue places. But I can take or leave barbecue.
Yeah, it must be something them Lindas. Mine's not real crazy about fish. She will eat shrimp, some seafood, but not fish so much. But she's not a big fan of Mexican, so when I'm out by myself, that's the two I gravitate to is Mexican or the fish places.
We got a place here, a Mexican place that we both love, and she does love Mexican food. It's called El Acapulco, and usually I don't care for it, but boy, this place is the best Mexican stuff I've ever seen. And so we got to where we go every Thursday, N4LQ.
Something didn't want to key up there at the time. All right, I'll go ahead and get out there and be good to, like I say, good to see everybody, and she'll be looking forward to it. I need to start putting some stuff in the van here, I guess, and get ready for it. 73s. We'll might catch you this afternoon. I'll get back in here after get all the chores done. It's WB4NKL now, Claire.
Yeah, I hope to be on here too. Looks like my, drifted a little bit here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We'll see you later, Cliff. WB4NKL, N4LQ Clear.